right? One of the things I want to check on as we do this. So last time we did hesitations, it was all about oversetting, not making sure you don't overset. Here, I want to get you in. I want to get the flash, and then I want to back off a little bit.
You?
Me.
Yo.
And see if I can get you to overcommit with the hands.
Flash.
Yeah, and then come around. Okay, so now it's more about footwork than hesitation.
Like
okay?
kind of waiting for you.
Yeah. So like when I was working, with Ben, and I was down. This is either the first or second time I was down in Texas, Dallas. I was in Dallas with him. When we were working moves, we were working hitting jab steps. Okay, so coming off the line here. Okay, you take your set, jabbing in to get the push, and then coming back out. Yeah. Okay, so think of it like a wide receiver coming off the line, and I want to run an out route. I'm going to get to the top of my route and hit an in, and then come out. I want to get you doing that. Okay. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to take a jab step in to get you kind of sitting here, and then come right back out to the outside. Okay. So we're going to work that today, okay? The thing for you to work at or to think about in those instances isn't so much hands, shoulders, it's hips, right?
Do you have the film on the drill we did where I made sure not to go inside until you passed me?
Yes. That's this,
yeah.
Okay? So it's really just making sure that you take the jab step, you can mirror with me. I mean, so if we get here and you got that good hip to my midpoint, we're in good position, and I jab, you can mirror with me. Don't overset inside, right? Don't overreact. You want to continue to mirror and match what I'm doing, okay? So that's going to be the key. Now, that works one of two ways. There's a counter to that, right? So it's here, and it's a hard step outside to get you oversetting. Now there's my up and under to come back in. So now this is what we're really working on, is how pass rushers, okay, are utilizing feet and their footwork to get you to do certain things, not just hands, okay? So everything up until this point has been a focus on hand fighting. How do you respond to this move, that move, whatever? Now we got to make sure that we're being conscious of the lower body, okay? Not getting deked out by the feet, but keeping your eyes at hips and up. Remember, I can't go anywhere without my hips, right? So if I take a hard step but my hips don't come to you, you got nothing to worry about, okay? Go. Reset. Go. 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 All right, we just finished our first drill, just working that inside jab step. The whole purpose of that drill is see if I can get Lucas to turn his hips square and then come down the field here and work some outside pass rush moves. What you saw, okay, is that Lucas never really turned his hips. What we've talked about with Lucas is eye behavior, okay? Making sure his eyes are locked in on a very specific target. 2 episodes ago, we mentioned something where I say, aim small, miss small. It's where I ask my guys to have really precise targets, okay? Don't look at a person's body, look at something very specific. One of the things I talk about with Lucas all the time is, hey, eyes on that inside hip, okay? If I'm committing to an inside move, my inside hip has to physically turn into Lucas. When he sees that, he knows I'm committed inside. If it's just a jab step for me to come back outside, he knows my hips are gonna stay square down the field. So my jab step's gonna be here, my hips are still square, and now I'm coming back out to work the move. So what we taught Lucas is how to ID that. In that first drill, you saw 5 correct reps, but that never was an issue. He never got lateral. Now what we're gonna do is work 2 jab steps. Jab in, jab out, and on my jab out, that's gonna be my plant step. I'm either gonna do one of 2 things. Work down the middle with the long arm, you really use that plant to muscle into him and see if I can get him off balance off his anchor. Or if I feel like the anchor's there, I'm gonna plan out and continue my outside move, just trying to narrow my angle to the quarterback just a little bit. Every little bit helps. In this particular circumstance, here's what Lucas has to do. Lucas knows within the first 2 or 3 steps off the line of scrimmage, his eyes gotta be locked on my hips. So once he sees the first jab step and my hips stay square, now he knows it's outside or bust. So his eyes now raise up to my shoulders, okay? Now, when I make my outside plant step, if my shoulders turn into him, he knows it's down the middle because I'm coming hard, my shoulders squared up to his shoulders. If on the outside plant, my shoulders stay up the field, he knows it's an outside move, he continues to his anchor point and rides me around the top of the hoop. So now we're gonna mix it in where you see either or. And that's what we're gonna look for Lucas. So all you guys watching at home, if you wanna know if Lucas is doing it correctly, check what he does. Because if you see him knock my hand away, that means he correctly identified the long arm. We know from previous episodes, that's the correct response for the long arm. If you see his hands stun me and then replace on top, it's because I worked an outside move and he correctly identified that too. So that's what we're looking for here in these 5 reps. Let's line it up. Ready, set, go. You knock down when you have to, right? So like you feel yourself getting worked back, that's the knockdown. If you're anchored in and I'm just fucking running my feet like a road runner, go. Go. See how like fluent that felt? How natural? Yeah. It was nice and tight, boom, hand back on, pushed me 5 yards down the field. So what I like about this, all right, this is very typical in the NFL, where we're getting 5 yards down the field and here's my move. What's good is the flashes right off the line for you, they work a lot of the times. But if I hold my move in until we get here, you are under pressure to throw hands with intent to strike, right? So I'm throwing my move down this way, I know I'm hitting something, but you keep replacing. Your hands got hit, you replaced and punch, moved me up the field off my path. That's what we need to see. That's what doesn't happen so often in the NFL. That's the sticky hands that we've been talking about. You continue to replace those hands, you continue to move me, we're golden, all right? No move should ever stop you. Always keep moving. Feet move, hands move. Feet go, hands move. That's exactly it, right? So that arm comes in, your hands are here ready to strike, and it's boom. You don't need these big wax on, wax off movements, all right? That's time wasted. Go. 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 All right, if you've been with us long enough now, okay, you know that every session we end with something called the free-for-all. And this is where we work on one of the most important things when it comes to behavior, and that's latency. That's the time period between the stimulus, my pass rush move, or my footwork, or my hand fighting, whatever it is I'm doing, okay, and his response or his behavior. We want to shrink that time period. We want his response time or his reaction time or his latency to be as small as possible. And he's been doing that really, really well. In every single session, I try to make it harder on him because we keep adding to the repertoire. So in the very beginning, when we first started our sessions this season, it was all about the outside pass rush moves, but like 1 or 2. Then it was 4 pass rush moves, then 6, then inside counters, then jab steps, and so on and so forth. And here we are today. We're gonna do a free-for-all with everything we've done up to this point. So it could be just a straight outside speed rush. It could be a spin move inside jab step, long arm, outside plant into long arm. It could literally be anything, and Lucas has to respond following his keys. His initial keys are very simple. Inside half of my body, starting from low to high, and then it's about the correct hand response and footwork, and that's what we're gonna see. We got 5 reps to end today's session. He's gotta do them all correct, and then we move on to the next one. Let's line it up. Go. There you go. Hey, I love that, okay? We talked about early on, first episode, extension. That was right there. The second I turn and you see an opening for a strike, hit it. And you did. Inside arm, couldn't even get on you. You're 6'7". You're gonna have reach over so many dudes. When you have those opportunities, you take them. Watch that real quick. Go. Now, you ever hear like your body crack on impact?
When you hit the, yeah.
Like I landed on my shoulder
And
and it just was like a straight, like beautiful crack release. Oh shit. Go. 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 Yeah. There you go.
I like that.